But today's video is a super special video. Today we're gonna talk to Lourdes about her experience as a travel nurse.
Something I don't do, I can maybe you can be more intense than we're not made. And hopefully you won't find all of the reasons why his love didn't count and why we couldn't work it out.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite nurse babe, Christen, aka Bev. Y'all already know on my channel we talk about all things lifestyle and nursing. Today I have my wonderful friend here, Lourdes. We used to work together way back in the days. I don't know if y'all remember the interview I did with Sophia. We all worked at the same nursing facility, but now all of us, we all graduated. We went from LPNs to RN. Sophia went from a CNA to an LPN. If you have not seen that interview, go ahead and click the link up here and watch that video. But today's video is a super special video. Today we're gonna talk to Lourdes about her experience as a travel nurse. Now I asked y'all to send me in a couple of questions to ask her, so we're gonna just go ahead and let her go ahead and jump in and introduce herself, and we'll go from there.
So my name is Lourdes. I was a travel nurse. I traveled for about 2 years. Not sure how many contracts that is.
But she's also a wife and a mom. She has 2 beautiful girls. So we'll just jump right in and say, how long, like, give us like your history of nursing. Like, when did you, were you a CNA first or?
No, I was never a CNA.
Okay, so you were.
Yep. I met you when I first became an LPN. I don't know when that was. Maybe like 2017-ish. And then, so I was an LPN for maybe like a year or so. And then we dived into RN. Okay, and you went to Galen too, right? All right, she's a Galen graduate. Y'all know I gotta keep the G in rotation. All right, so the question I always get is, can I travel as a new nurse? Would you recommend new nurses with like less than a year experience traveling? I would say no. I would say no.
Me either. Me too. I would say no.
Okay. I jumped in 10 months after becoming an RN, but that was during COVID. Everybody was desperate for, nurses and help. And so, but that was difficult for me.
Yeah.
That was really, I was like, oh no.
Really?
Yeah, but I learned a lot.
You were a nurse first though. Like,
right.
Even though you were only an RN for 10 months,
right.
you still had
LPN under my belt. Yeah.
But hold on, let's back up. Give them a little bit of what did you do as an LPN? Like, what kind of jobs did you have? So we know nursing home, and what did you do after leaving the nursing home?
After the nursing home, corrections. I worked at the jail.
That's something I never did, y'all.
I did night shift at the jail as an LPN and then doing my RN also.
Okay.
And when I graduated, I stayed at the jail for a little bit, but then I was like, I don't feel like a real nurse.
Really? It was that good? You didn't feel, listen.
I was like, I want to learn more. I want to like do hospital things.
In hindsight, girl, we would have stayed right where we was at. Like, what?
Right.
The ghetto.
Take me back.
It is the ghetto. Like,
yes.
I low-key, this is kind of off the subject. Y'all know how I ramble. Feel like, you know how when you're a kid and you want to be a grown-up so bad, and you be like, this is ghetto.
Right.
And
so rude. It's so rude. Life is just so.
And so then it's like, we go to nursing school, we get we're going to do all this fun stuff, and then we get out here in the hospital, and I was like, oh, this is the ghetto.
No. It was
So as an LPN, we worked at a skilled nursing facility, she did corrections, we went back, got our RM, stayed at the jail, and then COVID hit, boom, and you said you got to take care of this money. So we traveled for 2 years. Out of all the places you traveled, which one was your favorite place to travel and why?
Probably Kentucky. I really liked it there.
Was it cold?
It was cold.
Listen, anything above Georgia, I'm like, is it cold?
It was cold, and I went for the spring, and it was cold. And I liked it so much, I did like 7 months there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I really
So you liked it because of the scenery or the people you worked with?
Mostly the scenery and the people. They were so good to me.
They were
so good to me. Yeah.
Okay, so nursing in Florida versus nursing in other states.
Do we have to go there? Do we have to?
I've never been out of the state, so I'm curious too because all my friends tell me, girl, get out of Florida.
It's awful.
Get out of Florida.
I only worked in Florida during the winter because
Okay.
I refused to be up north or
In
out
a
of
blizzard.
state. Right. So I only did contracts here in the winter. And I hated it. I dreaded it. Every fall, I'm like, I have to look for a contract in Florida. It's going to suck. They're going to give me 800 patients. It's just going to be so bad.
Yeah.
And I hated it every time.
Yeah. I wish I could leave. Y'all know I got 100 kids. Lourdes' kids are adults.
Yes.
She did her time.
Yes.
I'm still doing my time.
I'm sorry.
I should have chilled out, but no, mama want to keep having these babies. So, being the fact that you're a wife and mom, how did your family like adjust to traveling?
Well, my kids are grown.
Okay, so check.
So they drive. They did their own grocery shopping. And how do I put gas in the car? I don't know how to do that, Mom. FaceTime me so we can do it together.
What? Oh my gosh, that's how you know you're a good mama when your kids. When your kids like love you and depend on you.
They had to do everything for themselves.
They missed
and
you.
They
grew
grew
up.
up. Yeah, they did. They really did. And then my husband, they came with me. He was working remote from home, so he tried to like bring it with us, and they were not having it. And I told him I really want to travel, but if you don't come with me, I'm not going.
Oh, you love
So-
her, bitch. You love her, me.
It was hard for him, and he was very grumpy because he's never been like without working. So that was really, really hard for him. But you know, my off days we were like, let's go.
Oh, so y'all got to explore
all the time.
So
all
that
the
was a
time.
good experience, though.
Oh yeah. It was
Y'all got to
nice.
see like part of the world together.
Yeah.
Make money, but still, you know, still kind of
Right.
be away. That was cool. Okay, so the next question is, people always want to know, where do you stay when you're traveling? You want to tell them like how you solved that problem without trying to buy like an apartment or anything.
So we got a camper because I'm a germaphobe and I don't like staying in hotels and Airbnbs and all that.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not doing this if I have to stay at a hotel. So we got a camper.
So how many rooms? Is it like
It sleeps 5, but it was only for the 2 of us.
Okay.
So it was pretty comfortable. But all the other travelers I worked with, they did like, you know, Airbnbs or hotels or whatever. Mostly Airbnbs they did.
Well, I kind of like this angle though, the camper, because to be honest, I stayed in a hotel in one time, and this is just right here in Ocala, Florida, which is, I'm not even gonna curse because it's October. I'm trying not to curse.
It's October?
Yeah,
Okay.
October 1st to 31st. I'm trying not to curse
Okay.
as much. Cause one time I noticed I like said 3 sentences and they were like full of cuss words, and I was like, girl, yeah, like I can't even say
Were
3
you angry
sentences.
though?
I was just cussing, well, kinda. I was just cussing people out, like, what the F y'all doing? Drive. And I was just like, you know what, girl?
That doesn't count.
It don't count.
No. You were driving. In Florida, you were driving.
You're right.
It's total. It's
So I was just like, you know what, Christen, just chill out on it. Just try to be conscious of the words you're saying. So in Ocala, they like hit me upside the head for one night, $489. And I had to pay it because I had Chastity, the oldest, and then Cash, the baby. So they stayed, I worked overnight. They stayed at the hotel. And of course, I had to make sure my kids were like in a decent space. I wasn't going to put them in like no $40 hotel, motel. Well, you know,
exactly.
crazy things go down.
Exactly.
But we even stayed at like a Holiday Inn. It wasn't even like the Westin.
And they're expensive. I know.
So yes, I do like this angle of the camper. So y'all would find like campsites. Okay.
And I think the most I paid for a lot with like full hookups, you know, electric, water, and everything, was like maybe $700 for the month.
Okay. So did y'all just hear what she said? $700 for the month
is the most that I have paid. In Kentucky, it was $450.
Even better, and I paid $489 for one night.
Yeah.
So just a gem for y'all to take away from this. If you're really gonna take traveling serious, just put an investment in, because I'm sure I'm not getting into her pockets, but I've looked up campers. They're not like the cheapest thing, but in the long run, it is an investment, especially when you have a family. So whenever y'all want to go vacation and stuff later, it's always forever an investment, and in the long run.
Here's another thing. Sorry to cut you off.
It's okay.
Before I forget, because then I'll forget it. But now that we've settled down, we're thinking, should we save it for vacation or rent it out because somebody is interested in renting it out from us? And I'm like,
passive income.
Can we rent it out to like other travel nurses or families for camping season? Like,
cha-ching, cha-ching, that's all I'm hearing in my head.
Putting it out there.
So definitely, this is such, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Because that is such a different angle, because everybody.
It's like a business, like a side business.
Yeah, because everybody thinks, oh, the only way they can do it is if they stay in a hotel or if they get an Airbnb, but she just unlocked the code to something totally different. Now, I have heard other travel nurses get in campers and RVs or whatever, however you want to look at it, whatever, a mobile living situation, and going around and traveling like that. So I like that idea.
You'll be surprised when you go to like the campgrounds how many travelers are there.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh yeah, and we all like come out on our days off and have coffee, talk about the hospital.
Yeah,
and,
talk like,
yeah.
Do you know what happened?
It's in our robes and stuff, like little grandmas. It's so funny.
Oh,
it's pretty fun. I kind of miss it.
I can kind of see that. Yep. Oh, do you have any tips for what to look at in travel contracts? Like, what were your things that you had?
I read mine like from top to bottom. But just read them thoroughly, and if you don't understand something, ask. I know my recruiter probably was annoyed by me. What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? You have questions or you're not sure, ask, because like every nurse says, that's your license.
For real, that's your license. And like, I saw, just for an example, one of my friends, they made her a charge nurse, and she was like, oh, I get paid extra for being charge nurse. And I was like, no, you don't. And sis pulled out her contract and was like, yes, it say I get $2.50 extra for being a charge nurse.
That's right. So
it's just down to guarantee hours, what you are required to do and what the hospital is required to do. So make sure y'all read. So did you have any hospital experience before you started traveling? Okay, so were you a med-surg nurse? Okay.
For 10 months.
You traveled, did they only keep you in med-surg, or did you sprinkle around in different departments?
When I traveled, they threw me everywhere.
Everywhere? Even ICU or no ICU?
ICU, but they give me the people that were getting ready to like
go to med-surg.
Right.
Okay. Tips for newbies wanting to travel.
Like new nurses or new travelers?
I don't know. It just
for new nurses, you're gonna need time under your belt. And new travelers, I mean, I watched a lot of YouTube videos and did a lot of reading and talked to other travelers just to get everyone's experience. And then I kind of made the decision on my own. Oh, you know what I did? I traveled in-state first to see if I liked it, to see how I liked, how you say, like floating and the flow of the hospital and how they treat you and the vibe of being a traveler. And then I did 2 contracts in Florida, and then I was like, okay, I'm ready to venture out.
Okay, so what I took for that is make sure you have your nursing experience first, and then travel locally in your state, like away from where you live, but still where you are, so you have that type of comfortness to see how it works, because if you don't like it, you're home. And then you went out. So you got experience as a regular nurse and then a little bit of experience as a travel nurse and then left.
Because you have to be super adaptable. And that was hard.
Yes.
Like, oh, you got to travel here, or you got to, not travel, you got to float here. okay, and go. Don't throw a tantrum about it. Don't complain. You just gotta go.
And have your mindset, basically what she's saying.
Very adaptable.
Be adaptable. Be comfortable with knowing that you're going to be the first person to float. They're going to take care of their own just like you would when you're at a regular hospital.
Yep.
Do you do your own taxes or do you have an accountant?
I don't have an accountant.
So she do her own.
This is what I do. You don't have to do what I do.
This is just your experience. It's
right.
No right or wrong.
Correct.
This is just a tool for them to get different angles.
So I do my own. I've done my own for many, many years. And then when I started traveling, I was like, I have trust issues. And I don't even trust like tax places.
Exactly.
Or other people with my money.
Yes, won't scam me. Because at the end of the day, for real, you gotta be in control because the IRS don't care if other people prepared it.
Right.
They were like, you should still know. So
I still get nervous and paranoid because I just use the
TurboTax.
And then what I do is I pay that little upgraded fee for one of their like tax experts to review it.
Okay.
And I get on the chat with them if I don't know how to report something or if I don't know what something means, and I get on the chat with them, tell them the situation, and then we'll go over it.
Okay. So I kind of feel like this is a good time for us to bring in
Pray 10
your
years
business.
from now they're not going to come at me.
They won't. They won't. I don't know. You might be making that type of money, but unless you up there, girl, even Beyonce don't pay taxes. We ain't paying taxes. Anyways, okay, so to offset that, do you incorporate your business? Because she is also a business owner.
So I sell Scentsy. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that. It's a home fragrance or fragrance on the go. They started out many, many years ago with just like the wax warmers and wax melts, and now they have like pods and oil diffusers and car stuff, just body products, laundry products, cleaning products, stuff for the kids. They just have so much now. So I do that because I really like it. And it brings in extra money too.
Okay.
It's like my therapy, and it brings in money too.
Thank you. When y'all go to her house, it smells so freaking good up in there. This person said, how much do travel nurses make? She does home health care and wants to venture into travel nursing.
So how much do travel nurses make?
Yeah.
That's very vague.
It's
Depends
super vague.
What state, what specialty, are you a RN, LPN? I mean, it's very vague.
And
the rates have dropped so much.
Okay, so when I was a travel, the year I was just a nurse, I made $68,000. The year I started traveling, I have not ever made less than $100,000 a year.
Accurate.
And I never left Florida. And from what I hear, Florida is the lowest paying state.
It really is. It really is.
So that is just a ballpark, I can say.
But I can say the most that I've made weekly was like almost 5. And then the least was like 27.
Yes. And that was probably in Florida, right?
Actually, no.
Oh.
It was my last contract.
Oh.
Just last month, and I'm like, at that point, it's not worth it for me.
Yeah, that's what I said. The only way I will locally travel is I have to make at least $2,700 to go. And that's with me not traveling more than 2 hours. That's the only way. And that's still kind of like the bare minimum because I make that being right here locally in our county without even leaving. Mm-hmm. But the only difference is you get paid every week versus every 2 weeks. Right. And even though I would kind of prefer get my money every week
right.
to know I'm about to get these $2,500
I know. I just went back staff, and I'm like, I gotta wait 2 weeks.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to wait.
Oh man!
Even though it might be $5,000, I still would like for it to come weekly.
Nice. Yes.
I'm just not that grown up yet.
I know. So much responsible budgeting.
like,
does?
what? I just want to swipe. Like, listen, I'm not that grown up yet. That was kind of like the answer to one of the questions. What's the minimum weekly pay you would accept? And we said $2,700 minimum. Nothing less. Stay at home because the expenses, the wear and tear on your vehicle.
I never take less than 3 out of state, but I took this one because I really, really, really wanted to go there. It was a state that I had never been to, and I was like, it will be so wonderful.
Yeah.
And I was there for like a month, and I was like, no, this ain't it.
So that is another thing to consider.
I did not like it at all. My camper was on fire hot with the AC and fans.
You in Arizona?
Yes.
Oh. Because when I think of hot, that's exactly what I think of. Okay, so Arizona, everybody tell me it's like so pretty. No, it's not Arizona, it's Nevada.
It's pretty. It's pretty. I flew my kids out there.
Oh.
And I did my schedule like 4 on, 3 off, 3 off, 4 on, so I could have 6 days off.
Yeah.
And we went to Vegas and the Grand Canyon and Hoover Dam. Like, it was great. We went to Mount Lemon and everything, but
so
it was so
in the
hot.
overall, it was too hot, but it still was like a great experience for your family wise.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
On days off, still, let's go. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's things to consider. That's why it's kind of hard for us to answer these questions because it's what your personal wants are.
Right.
If you know you want to travel in California, you may take a lesser amount than what you want because you want to be over there to experience California.
I know nurses love it.
I know California. That was a bad example because I don't think anybody get paid low money in California. I heard.
And not only that, they have like the ratio laws.
Yeah.
Real nice.
So maybe if you want to travel to Rhode Island, somewhere that is small and you just want to experience that lifestyle, you might take a contract making less because you want
You've
more
always wanted to go there,
than just
maybe,
yeah. So those are all things you want to consider as well.
Yep.
All right. Hi, this question is from Callie. I would like to know, when traveling, are you allowed to bring along their partner and children and child? We kind of already said this. I don't know if you have smaller kids. Her kids are adults, and her husband did travel with her because she had a camper. I do know that back during the crisis time, Crucial was one of the main companies. Angel Staffing were one of the companies where they provided the housing for you, and they did not allow visitors. So that's something
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did not. If you stayed in, well, Crucial, you had to live in their hotels.
I didn't know that.
But Angel Staffing, they would let people get their own apartments or whatever. But even then, I heard people were having issues with getting their stipends. So some people was like, we're just going to stay in the hotels they provide to offset that cost.
Wow.
But that was during the pandemic. And that was because they didn't know how people were catching COVID. So they didn't want to run the risk of you getting sick from somebody else giving you COVID.
Yeah.
So they didn't even like them eating out. Yes, you can take your family because they'll be living in housing that you provide for yourself.
Right,
like she had a camper, can't nobody tell her who she can have.
be in my camper.
Yeah, who she can have. But also her husband is an adult and her child are adults. All right, next one. When it comes to contracts, what happens if you break early?
You gotta read your contract. Back to that, reading your contract. So my last contract, it said way in the bottom in teeny tiny words that either the employer or the traveler can, like, an at-will, the way they worded it was like that you can basically cut out.
Oh, okay.
And I had never seen that on a contract. So I was like, interesting.
Good, because I hate it here. I'm out.
120 degrees every day. I'm done.
Okay, I left a contract early too. My last contract a year ago. Y'all already know I hated that place. If you have not seen that video, it is also going to be linked right here. Do you think it's better to do ER or med-surg nursing coming out of school? Everybody got different opinions.
I don't know. It's just what you like, what you want.
Yeah.
If you're an adrenaline junkie and you're into all that, then maybe the ER, I guess, or the ED. But
Well, I don't know. I kind of feel like it is definitely up to what you want to do. An ED is working in the emergency room department is considered a specialty. So if you want to have specialties under your belt, definitely go for it. It's nothing wrong with med-surg nursing. I'm here to tell you. Point blank period. I don't
You
know
also
why.
got a little bit of everything in med-surg. And a little bit of everything in the ED too. It's
Yeah.
just,
I don't know why people.
One moment.
Girl, get out of our business. I don't know why people talk so down on the med-surg. Go where you want to go. But also go where you can go, because sometimes you might not get the specialty you want, and that's still okay. And it's okay if you're in a position to wait until you get into the specialty you want. All right, y'all. So thank y'all so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to purchase anything from Scentsy, if you saw anything that you like, please click the link down in the description box. We're gonna have links to all of that there. I'm gonna check y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.